my name is Luke, and today I'm showing you the basics of Python in under 10 minutes. So the first step to learning Python is to go to replit.com. There will be a link in the description, or you can just go to replit.com and just make a username. So I'll just call this Luke8414. Fill these things in, and then you'll get to this page. Just select what you are, so I'm just going to select intermediate. Select whatever version you prefer. Once you get to this page, click Create, Python, and then just name it Python Tutorial 1, or whatever you would like. Now, the first thing I would demonstrate is comments. Comments are one of the most important things that you're going to need to know to be a successful coder in Python. To make a comment in Python, it's basically what they do is it's a line of code that doesn't get run. Basically, there are two ways to make one. Either do a hashtag, whatever, so like say your label and say the part of the code that checks if 1 is equal to 2. Or the other way of doing it is you can use 3 apostrophe marks, and everything inside that will be commented. That's like hello, Bob. As you can see, nothing happens. Another valuable thing to know in Python is print statements. These are very useful when you're like bug testing things. So how they work is once you say print and whatever you want to say, hello, it will say it in the console. So how you make one is you would say print, which is the function, quotation marks, so what you want to say, and it'll say hello there. And then I'm going to teach you another really important thing in Python. They can also print out variables. So variables can be anything. So let's say they can either be data or they can be a word or phrase. So for example, we're going to make a variable called my first variable, and that's going to equal my name, so Luke. And then we can also have a number, so my first int. And instead of putting it in these little quotation marks, anytime you see me put this little thing or the doubles, it's the same thing. My first int, we're just going to make it say A414. And the third type of thing you can use for variables are called floats. What floats do is we're just going to make a variable called my first float. And what a float is basically just a decimal number, so like 3.5, so like 0.567, bunch of random numbers. So what we can do is we can say hello there. We're gonna print out our name, and you separate these with commas, and then say we want to print out the integer right here, the number. When I gonna say my first int. And so we want to print out the float, same thing, my first float. Then when we run this, it prints them all out. So the next thing we're going to focus on is getting input from the user. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a variable called anum. So a number equals to input, which is the name of the function. And then we're going to have it say pick a number. So space at the end. What this does is when we run it, it will pick a number and it will input it. And what we can do is we can actually reference this as a string. So we can say like print a num, the name of our input, our number. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how you can convert types. Instead of doing that, we're going to say a num is equal to a num is equal to integer a num. What this does is it takes a num, which is a string, which is like a word, and it turns it into an integer that we can do operations with. So we're going to say print a num plus 2. Now this is an integer, we can add things to it. So if we run this, it'll add 2 to it. three different types of loops. So the three different types of loops are if loops, while loops, and for loops. Okay, so if loops, so we're gonna make some variables. We're gonna say num1 equals 67, num2 equals 68, cool equals true. What this is a boolean. It's a true or false statement. Now we're gonna do the first loop. So if num1 is equal to, and if you're saying equal to, you say equals to equals to. If you're making something equal to that, you would say equal. If num1 is equal to num2, print yay. Else, not that, print bad. Run this, it prints bad because that's true. The next loop is a while loop. So we're gonna say while cool is true, or we can just say while cool, print high. We're not in this indefinitely, print high. And we can break out of this by saying while num1 is less than 68, print num1 equals num1 plus 1, or you can say num1 plus equals 1. They're the same thing. And then if we do that, make sure that's the right sign. It'll print it one time. And the last type is for loop. So what a for loop is, we're going to make another type of thing called a list. So we're going to say my first list equals, and then in brackets we're going to say apple, pear, orange. So this we'll do is there's two different ways to use it. We're going to do the first one first. So for I, which is a variable in range, which is say for in range of 5, we're going to print hello. And this way it will print hello 5 times. See? Another thing we can do is we can say for object in my first list, print object. And what this will do, it will print out all the objects in this list. And I have a challenge for you guys. I want you to try and make a functioning calculator using input, variables, and loops. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is how you do it. You're going to say num1 equals input. What is the first number? And we're going to say operation. We're just going to move it to op equals input. What is the operation? Num2 equals input. What is the second number? Then we're going to say num1 equals int num1. So we convert that into integers. Num2 equals int num2. And then we're going to say if op equals plus, print num1 plus num2. Else if, so partition else if, so it's else if, and you make it as elif. Else if op equals negative, to print num1 minus num2. Elif op equals that, print num1 times num2. And then finally, elif op that, print num1 / num2. The reason we put / because if we don't put / it will try and make it into a decimal. And this way it rounds it. And this should work. So 1 plus 6 is 7, and it works. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you learned something, click the like and subscribe button. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.